Hello, I'm in the studio and getting ready. It is Friday and patio's open today in Toronto, so I am gonna curl my hair. And since one of my most popular videos ever from like 3 years ago that people still comment on is about how I get those beautiful kind of tousled waves, I figured I would do a little bit of an updated version. So my hair is 3 days, I think, since I've washed it, maybe 2.5. I just put a little bit of a dry shampoo in because I want it to last a little bit longer, and it has a bit of a serum in when I blow dried it as well. But I am going to be doing a full head of waves, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do that. I use a little clip. You can use a hair tie to pull your hair back, but basically I start with a section, if you can see that goes basically from right behind my ear. Anything below that, so that's like the nape area, is what we're gonna do first. I am using an 1.25 inch barrel. I go between the 1.25 inch and an inch. The inch will give me more of a lasting curl that goes into a wave, and this will give me immediate looser waves. This one, the handle's kind of funny. It's called a Marcel. It's what I was trained on a long time ago as a hairstylist, so that is what I use. So generally, I divide the back in half, then I divide each side into 2 or 3 sections. They don't have to be perfect. In fact, it's kind of better if they're not. And what we're gonna do is leave those ends out. So you see this? That doesn't get curled. When I pull the iron out, I drag it a little bit, I pull it, and that gives it a little bit more of like an edgy, not exactly perfect curl. So if you want something that is a bit of like a looser curl, you don't really care, you can take bigger sections. If you want something, if you have trouble with curls staying in your hair, I would take smaller sections, almost like you could do maybe 2 by 2 inches or 1.5. And we're gonna do the same on the other side. So I am curling the right side in the same direction and the left side in the same direction. So technically both sides are going to the back. We're gonna leave out that end a little bit, which means the hair is coming around the front of the curling iron. You can do it the opposite way, but this is going to give me the wave that I want to achieve, which is, we used to call them retro waves. I don't know if they're retro anymore. I'm dividing this section into 3 because there's a bit more hair. Again, hair comes around the front. We're leaving out the end. So we have both the sides. Everything is curled away from the face, and we're not going to touch it. So my second section is going to be right about, let's say, the bottom end of my temples. I don't mind if it's just like a little wavy. Again, on this side, hair's in the front. We're moving away from the face. All right, third section. Yeah, it depends on the density of your hair, but I'm kind of moving by like a couple inches at a time. And on our hairlines is a little bit more fragile, and it doesn't need as much heat, so I usually let that sit for less time. Sometimes, just to get this out of the way, I just take the last like couple inches of the top section. This section could either, I usually part a little bit to the left, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this as one section and I'm gonna split the other side into 2. Okay, so now that we have curled our hair, I'm gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes to completely cool down. Heat breaks bonds inside of hair, and not in like a really awful way at all, but just heating breaks them apart, cooling brings them back together, which is why things like curling our hair works, because the heat breaks it up, molds it into something else, and then it cools down and the bonds reconnect in a different shape. So We're gonna let this cool. If you're someone that likes a very minimal wave or you think that it's too curly, then you can brush it out right away. You just run the risk of it not lasting as long. Okay, we waited 10 minutes. Amazing. Last step, I like to use a sea salt spray instead of a hairspray. I find it to be, it adds a bit more texture. It doesn't feel sticky to me, which I like, and it holds really well. So this is the Inner Sense Eye Create Waves, and like 4 sprays. You can scrunch it a bit, but I'm pretty happy with the texture that we have going on. So this will last me, and honestly, I'll probably have to wash my hair before my waves have stopped working for me, but I used to do this, I would wash my hair at night, the next day I would do this in the morning. So there we go, you can see the ends we kept straight, but they were kind of polished when we ran the iron through after. And yeah, that's how I create my signature wave look. Let's make that a thing. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you do this, let me know if you tried and how it works out, and I hope you have a wonderful day.